Sir?
You mentioned that the city club leaned a little left. I think those were your words, or it used to lean.
I don't know that I said that.
You didn't say that.
I didn't say that. People believe that.
All right. So,
That's a perception I've heard, and you're welcome to start there if you want.
so
I'll disabuse you of that momentarily.
were that the case?
Yeah.
And there is polarization in the community and the country over Donald Trump, as an example.
Out of thin air.
Can you have the same type of dialogue in Dayton or Cincinnati, which is not left-leaning,
Yeah.
as you would have, assuming my premise is correct, here in Cleveland?
So your premise, I want to address your premise first.
Repeat the question, please.
The question had to do with the premise of the question is that the city club leans left, which it doesn't, and I'll explain that in a second. And then the second part of the question is, given the differences between, in the political climate in Dayton and Cincinnati is very different than Cleveland, so can it work there? Basically, if I've summarized correctly. So the city club has a reputation for, and is perceived by some on the right, to lean left. As an institution, we do not lean one direction or another. This is a copy of the Constitution that we produced as and the Declaration of Independence and the creed of the City Club of Cleveland, actually. And we were giving these as thank yous in our spring membership drive. We'll throw one into the basket for you guys. The creed of the City Club was written in 1916 by the executive secretary. Then the executive secretary's name is Ralph Hayes, and he was the first paid executive secretary. He only stuck around for a year because Newton Baker liked him so much that when Newt became Secretary of War under Woodrow Wilson, parentheses, the only pacifist to ever hold a job, end parentheses, he took Ralph Hayes with him. But Ralph Hayes left us this wonderful legacy of the creed of the City Club. And my favorite line is this: I have no axe to grind, no logs to roll. My abode shall be the rendezvous of strong but open-minded men. My watchword shall be information, not reformation. We don't take sides. There's another line that I think is really important too. He says, I welcome to my platform the discussion of any theory or dogma or reform, but I bind my household to the espousal of none of them, for I cherish the freedom of every man's conviction, and each of my kin retains his own responsibility. So we don't pick sides. We don't lean one way or the other. Now, whenever I have if Jim Renacci speaks at the City Club, or if Mary Taylor speaks at the City Club, or Jane Timken speaks at the City Club, people on the left are like, well, what about David Pepper? What about Sherrod Brown? What about whomever, right? And then when the left speaks at the City Club, it's the same. I can hear the same from the right. And there's a certain Democratic senator from the state of Ohio who will email me every now and then to remind me how much he disliked when corporate leaders speak at the City Club and talk about debt and talk about the national debt. Also a great speaker, by the way. You should have him too. I've got lots of ideas on this. Our membership, if you were to take the 870 people who are members of the City Club and poll them, or see which primary they voted in, you could theoretically do this, right? You could pull their voting record and find out if they voted in a primary. You could make an assumption about whether they're Republican or Democratic, members of the Republican Party or the Democratic Party. But even then, you wouldn't really know because we have an open primary in the state of Ohio. And I think in the last election, there were a lot of people who were switching, pulling, But I think if you polled them, if you asked them, there's probably a majority of our members are left-leaning, without a doubt. And so what happens then is that because we do what we do at the City Club, the second half of every program is devoted to questions from the audience that are not softballs, right? These are tough questions, as George Bush found out in 2006, or as Jane Timken and Mary Taylor and everybody finds out when they come to the City Club. Our audience is left-leaning, probably, and so they ask really tough questions, and they push hard on the issues that they care deeply about. And so then the City Club gets this reputation for being a left-leaning organization, even though institutionally we're not. We're providing the forum, and it's up to each of our kin to stand by their own conviction. So.